Recording in progress.
Excellencies, distinguished guests, esteemed members of IRENA's family, I would like to welcome you tonight in this momentous occasion, the Renewables Talk for IRENA Permanent Representatives in commemoration of the 15th anniversary of IRENA's establishment and the first International Day of Clean Energy. I'm Najla Zaraouni, a Program Officer at the Country Engagement and Partnerships in IRENA, and it's absolutely an honor to be with you tonight. As we embark on this evening of celebration and reflection, let's take a moment to soak in the significance of the journey that brings us together tonight. In this gathering, let's share our success stories, lessons learned, and victories celebrated on the path to a sustainable future. This space is not filled only with esteemed representatives, but also architects for a cleaner and greener future. Coinciding with IRENA's 15th anniversary, the International Day of Clean Energy was established by the United Nations General Assembly in 2023 to raise awareness of the importance of clean energy. It's a call to action, the acceleration of a clean energy transition for the benefit of the planet and the people for sure. Tonight's gathering is not just a formal event, it's a symphony of ideas, a collective pulse of innovation. So let the conversation flow. Alliances form, the friendships strengthen. With no further delay, let me introduce a visionary leader whose dedication has been a driving force behind IRENA's journey. With a career marked by passion and determination, he has steered IRENA through milestones and challenges for sure, shaping it into the global force it is today. Ladies and gentlemen, kindly join me in expressing our deepest appreciation for Mr. Francisco La Camera and his outstanding leadership for sure. So the Director General of IRENA, the stage is yours.
Minister of Climate and Environment of the UAE, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. Honestly, I have to admit that when the lady was introducing, I was trying to think what kind of person is thinking. So I was looking around who was going to be asked to speak. Anyway, that's nice to have heard these nice words. It's given me pleasure to welcome you at IRENA's headquarters to celebrate a significant occasion in our global pursuit of sustainable energy. Tomorrow, January 26, 2024, marks not only the inaugural International Day of Clean Energy, but also the anniversary of IRENA's establishment. We are 50 years young and still full of energy. The alignment of these two celebrations is no coincidence. They stand as a testament to IRENA's role in driving the global renewable energy agenda, as well as the collaborative spirit that led to the establishment of the agency 50 years ago, right here in the United Arab Emirates. While the story of renewable energy did not begin with IRENA, it is our analytical work and advocacy that has helped reshape the renewable energy narrative. From a niche sector labeled as an alternative option to dominating global power addition, renewables have moved from the sidelines to the center of the global energy discourse. Once seen as costly and unreliable power source, today they are recognized as the most effective and secure way to produce power. I am grateful for all that has been achieved in these last 15 years. We try to summarize this in a very short video. So I kindly ask the technicians to have it on the screen.
The first International Day of Clean Energy marks a significant milestone in our renewable energy journey. It also marks the 15th anniversary of the International Renewable Energy Agency. Since its establishment 15 years ago, IRENA has evolved from the daring dream of a visionary group of 75 countries to a robust agency with 169 members. With its near-universal representation, IRENA has carved out a unique space for governments to collaboratively address prevailing energy challenges. Through targeted support and innovative project facilitation initiatives, IRENA is helping make affordable financing more accessible. While the story of renewable energy did not begin with IRENA, it is IRENA's analytical work and advocacy that helped reshape the renewable energy narrative. Today, the renewable energy sector employs over 13.7 million people worldwide. And with innovations like green hydrogen, renewables are transcending their traditional role in power generation, reshaping industries once thought impossible to decarbonise. Renewable energy capacity has more than tripled globally over the past 15 years. But to achieve the goal of the Paris Agreement, it must triple again by 2030. The unprecedented momentum established by the UAE consensus at COP28 presents us with a unique opportunity to meet the biggest challenge of our time. As we commemorate IRENA's 15th anniversary and the first International Day of Clean Energy, let us take pride in the progress we've made to fuel greater ambition ahead.
Tonight, I want to thank the visionaries who inspired and advanced the energy transition by supporting IRENA from the very beginning. Some of them are not longer with us, like the late His Highness Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, who led the UAE when Abu Dhabi was chosen as the agency home, or Hermann Scheer, the German Member of Parliament, who lobbied so strongly for the creation of the agency. Others have continued to support us from the earliest days of the agency, like my predecessor and COP28 CEO Adam Amin, and Minister Teresa Ribera of Spain, who was the vice chair of our founding conference 15 years ago and remain involved in our governance today. Moreover, I want to take this opportunity to thank all the personnel of the agency, from those who have worked in the agency since the beginning to those who are only just beginning their journey with us. We have all joined a family of dreamers, and we continue to turn those dreams into reality. Finally, I thank all the members of the agency, in particular the permanent representative of the UAE, Dr. Naval, who made this event possible, as well as all of you for your attendance. It is my great privilege to celebrate this occasion alongside you all. On this International Day of Clean Energy, let us recall our achievements with pride and look to the future with confidence as we pursue the goal of tripling renewable energy capacity by 2030. I welcome you all again, and let me back the floor to our Master of Ceremony. Grazie molte. Thanks all.
And we would like to take this opportunity, Your Excellency, to thank you for endless efforts. Now, let us turn our attention to the heart of our gathering, the inspiring keynote speeches from our leaders, whose dedication to the cause of renewable energy has left a deep-rooted mark on this world. I'm delighted now to introduce a forerunner in the realm of transformation, a visionary leader who has been at the forefront of bringing change. Please join me in welcoming Her Excellency Dr. Amna bin Abdullah Dhahak, Minister of Climate Change and Environment of the United Arab Emirates.
Good evening, Excellencies, permanent representatives, esteemed guests and colleagues. It is a great honor and pleasure to be with you here tonight for the 15th edition of the Renewables Talks for IRENA. We meet today at the convergence of two significant milestones, which stand as testaments to the critical and ever-growing importance of our work in the field of renewable energy advocacy. They are, of course, the 15th anniversary of the foundation of IRENA, and tomorrow, the inaugural International Day of Clean Energy. Firstly, to IRENA, we have been immensely proud at the UAE to host IRENA for the past decade and a half, and we have grown and evolved together. As we saw at COP28, our joint efforts to promote renewable energy solutions had propelled clean energy conversations to the very top of the climate agenda, and this have been clearly recognized. The Renewable and Energy Efficiency Pledge, which IRENA helped to shape through its body of scientific research, literature, and policy recommendations, was a standout achievement. The pledge not only reflects our shared vision, but also draws a clear way forward in accelerating renewable energy deployment toward a 1.5-degree pathway by tripling renewable capacity by 2030. Together, UAE and IRENA continue to set new benchmarks for collective action. Our partnership continues to go from strength to strength, and we thank all IRENA members states for their continued support and collaboration. Another example of our partnership only gaining strength is the first International Day of Clean Energy, which we will observe tomorrow. This breakthrough initiative strongly advocated for by the UAE, Panama, and IRENA further underscores the global momentum behind clean and renewable energy solutions. In the UAE, we always remain committed to driving a just, equitable, and practical energy transition in collaboration with the global community to ensure no one is left behind. Together we can, and together we must transform the energy landscape at a domestic, regional, and global level. For 4 years now, the Renewables Talks have served as a vital platform for us to deliberate, share insights, and forge pathways for renewable solutions to deliver this sustainable future that we all need. These meetings are a time for us to reaffirm our commitments and envision a future of shared prosperity by aligning on what we must do to make renewables the fuel of the future of life on Earth. Thank you all once again for making it with us today, and I look forward to engaging with you further this evening. Thank you again, and have a very good evening.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. And yes, addressing climate change would require a collective action at all levels. And now, another exceptional leader is joining us virtually this time, Her Excellency Rosalina Lindo, Secretary of Energy of Panama. Despite the distance, Her Excellency Lindo has been an inspiring advocate for clean energy solutions. Her Excellency has played an important role in advancing the country's renewable energy agenda. So, Your Excellency, you are well connected, I believe, and we are all hearing you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Dear Excellencies, I welcome the opportunity to meet today with those who are crafting historical milestones for the promotion of clean energy and who are increasing nations' awareness about the need to initiate the transition towards a more sustainable ways of producing, transforming, and consuming energy. The worth of our knowledge maximized when we share what we know with others. It is the path to continue building global momentum to create cohesion and harmonization within the development agenda, where renewable energies are one of the cornerstones of a healthy planet. The consolidation of the International Day of Clean Energy is coming to confirm that clean energy democratization era has already started. All of this has to happen with the preparation of our electricity transmission and distribution grids for a more adverse climate scenario. Building resilience in the energy sector is a fundamental part of assuring the emission reductions we expect become a reality to shape with radical cooperation by finding partners and allies that previously we did not identify as part of the game changers, which is usually happen when you start to see your stakeholders through creative lenses. We had to find the proper communication tools to massively provide understandable information adapted to local culture that facilitates to make sustainable decisions at all levels. We need to implement NDCs and energy transition agendas consciously with our national circumstances, highlighting the local talent and put it in place for the energy transition, grabbing strongly this one lifetime opportunity to make not only the future better, but the present better as well. And one of the things that will contribute to keep the momentum up is celebrating the International Day of Clean Energy this January 26 as a global space to promote sustainable energy education and culture in the community, to do an intergenerational and inclusive cohesion, which energizes the energy transition to encourage tangible actions. For Panama, one of the biggest challenges is accelerating the penetration of renewable energy within the energy matrix, while accelerating the electrification of things, closing the universal access gap while guaranteeing a flexibility of our renewable energy matrix supported with new technology, while in the short term, maintain the downward trend in electricity rates, while designing tools to transit away from fossil fuel subsidies. And we have been tackling this challenge in a just and inclusive manner with more than 16,500 man-hours of stakeholders consultation from local communities, indigenous communities, national and local governments, private sector, including a focus on youth and women, where elderlies were also involved in this process for the creation of Panama's energy transition agenda. In these 242 lines of actions plan, defining how the country will provide the 95.5% of the total emission reductions commitment in our DC. We already secure that we are going to reduce at least 11 million tons of CO2 by 2030. And last week, we started a long-term bidding process for 500 megawatts exclusively for renewable energies, including battery storage. This tender ensures the reduction of 17.5 million tons of CO2, which represents the 29% of our total national determined contribution reduction for 2050. COP28 ran to the world a language of hope and action by agreeing on transitioning away from fossil fuels in energy systems, and is complemented with the International Day of Clean Energy, which enables a voluntary accountability platform that shows, in the style of each individual, how we are going to move toward an energetically sustainable future for all. I want to extend my deepest gratitude to the government of the United Arab Emirates for having been and continue being that fundamental ally without which achieving the International Day of Clean Energy officially would have not been possible. And I applaud the work of IRENA, who since their origins have been know how to respond in a timely manner to the needs of the member countries. I extend my sincere gratitude to all IRENA workforce for supporting Panama in venture to implement a development agenda designed for people with technical and scientific information that allows energy decision-making to be taken in harmony with the care of our planet. Happy anniversary, IRENA. Let's continue creating game-changer opportunities. From now on, January 26th is the day when humankind will gather locally, nationally, and globally to communicate the impact of the actions that are consolidating energy and climate goals. Thank you.
Many thanks to Her Excellency for virtually joining us and for sharing the national experience of Panama. Our next speaker is a driving force behind the United Arab Emirates' commitment to advancing technology and mitigating climate change. He has been a key architect of the nation's strategies for a sustainable future. His Excellency, Dr. Sultan Al-Jaber, Minister of Industry and Advanced Technology and the Climate Change Special Envoy of the United Arab Emirates. We are pleased to listen to His Excellency's reflections throughout this video message.
Excellencies, distinguished guests, good evening and welcome to this very special occasion. Allow me first to thank my good friend and the Director General of IRENA, Francisco La Camera, for inviting me to give opening remarks on what is, in fact, a double celebration. Tomorrow marks the 15th anniversary of the International Renewable Energy Agency and the first International Day for Clean Energy. Excellencies, there are indeed many reasons to be positive and optimistic about the development and promotion of renewable energy around the world. Last month, COP28 delivered an unprecedented agreement known as the UAE Consensus. For the first time in history, parties agreed to a just, orderly, and responsible transition away from fossil fuels and set specific time-bound targets for the expansion of renewable energy. By agreeing a triple renewable capacity by 2030, the world took a decisive step towards addressing climate change and keeping 1.5 within reach. And let me be clear, the advocacy and science-based analysis of IRENA made a valuable contribution to the inclusion of this target in the final text. And for this, I thank you. In fact, the whole world thanks you. Excellencies, when the United Arab Emirates put itself forward to host IRENA here in Abu Dhabi, it took many by surprise. Some were skeptical about our intentions. Yet, our leadership proved the doubters wrong, not by what they said, but what they did. They created one of the world's largest renewable energy investors through Masdar, built the biggest single-site solar plants here at home, and pioneered wind and solar projects abroad. And as hosts of IRENA, we have provided a platform to promote supportive policies, advance knowledge, and share best practices for the faster adoption of clean and renewable technologies. Over the last 15 years, IRENA has played an important role in the sevenfold expansion of the clean energy sector. During this period, the price of solar has dropped over 90% and wind by 70%. And last year saw the greatest increase in solar capacity ever recorded, with more than 510 gigawatts added to the grid. This is great progress, but it is still short of the threefold increase that the world needs to achieve by 2030. And the critical success factor to make up this gap is finance. While over $1.7 trillion was invested in clean energies last year, this will need to grow to $4.5 trillion by 2030. Critically, finance must be made more available, more accessible, and more affordable, and in particular, across the Global South. For vulnerable communities and many emerging economies, access to sustainable energy is basically about access to finance. This will require comprehensive reform of the international financial system. MDBs must be adequately capitalized and offer more concessional capital. And private capital must be applied at scale alongside government and development sources of investment. This is the thinking behind Altera, launched by the UAE at COP28 as the world's largest catalytic private investor that is 100% focused on solutions to climate change. Altera is a $30 billion fund that aims to leverage $250 billion in investments by 2030. This won't fill the gap by itself, yet it is a model that can and should be replicated. Most importantly, we must adopt a new mindset that views clean energy investment as a true opportunity to create sustainable socio-economic growth, new industries, and new jobs. Excellencies, friends, the role of finance in a just and equitable energy transition will remain a top priority at COP29 as countries focus on setting the new collective quantified goal. And as IRENA builds on its 15-year legacy of achievements, I call on all of you to continue to promote the role of policy, technology, and especially finance in accelerating the adoption of renewable energy. Your voice, your advocacy, and your active engagement has never been more needed. I thank you for the opportunity.
Many thanks to His Excellency Dr. Sultan Al Jaber, and we can't really move with this gathering without thanking him for the leadership to organize a very successful COP28. Now we move to the award ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to re-invite the Director General of IRENA, His Excellency Mr. La Camera, to the stage for handing the prestigious awards for our deserving excellencies. I start with the host country's recognition. So I would like to invite Her Excellency Dr. Amna bin Abdullah Dhahak, Minister of Climate Change and Environment, on behalf of His Highness Sheikh Abdullah bin Zayed Al Nahyan, Minister of Foreign Affairs of the United Arab Emirates. Permanent representative to IRENA and Ambassador of Germany to the United Arab Emirates on behalf of the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Germany. representative of the United Arab Emirates to IRENA on behalf of the UAE. Finally, I would like to invite Her Excellency Rebecca Perez, Ambassador of Panama to the United Arab Emirates, on behalf of Panama. We move now to a dynamic panel discussion titled Building a Sustainable Future, Renewables for Climate Action and Sustainable Development. So let me introduce our esteemed panelists, each of whom has played a crucial role in shaping the renewable energy landscape. I would like to invite Her Excellency Rebecca Perez, one more time, the Ambassador of Panama to the United Arab Emirates. Her Excellency has been instrumental in fostering national and international collaboration in the field of clean energy. Her insights into the challenges and opportunities in the global energy landscape will enrich our discussion for sure. Next, joining us, His Excellency Mr. Alexander Schoenfelder, Permanent Representative to IRENA and Ambassador of Germany to the United Arab Emirates. As a representative of a leading global player in renewable energy, Ambassador Schoenfelder brings a wealth of experience and knowledge to our discussion. His diplomatic efforts in promoting international cooperation on sustainable development align seamlessly with the goals of IRENA. We are also honored to have His Excellency Mr. Honorable Akawula, Permanent Representative to IRENA and Ambassador of Tonga to the United Arab Emirates. His Excellency's insights into the challenges faced by island nations and their resilience in adopting renewable energy solutions are of key importance for sure. Last but not least, we are delighted to welcome His Excellency Mr. Yolio Mayato, Permanent Representative to IRENA and Angola's Ambassador to the United Arab Emirates on our panel. Ambassador Mayato brings a unique perspective from Angola, adding valuable insights into the global dialogue. So, esteemed panelists, please join me.
Yes. Oh, it's
Your Excellency.
okay.
Thank you. So thank you so much one more time for joining us. As we are reflecting on the past 15 years of the establishment of this international organization and looking at the achievements, milestones, challenges, projects that all countries went through alongside the help of the International Renewable Energy Agency. So let's have a look and reflect our experience in terms of the agency's collaboration with member states. So I would like to start with Germany first. Excellency Schoenfelder, given that Germany has been a pioneer in renewable energy policies and innovation and technology center that's based in Bonn, how do you evaluate the collaboration with the International Renewable Energy Agency?
Yes, thank you very much. First of all, congratulations to the 15th anniversary of IRENA. We are extremely grateful for IRENA's work, and we are happy that we can celebrate this anniversary with the huge successes in mind achieved by IRENA at COP28, in particular with regards to the renewables and the energy efficiency goals. I think what is important now is that we have to appreciate very much the organization of the higher level element of on the accelerated partnership for renewables in Africa, an initiative launched by IRENA together with Kenya, Namibia, Denmark, and Germany to speed up the expansion of renewables in Africa. And I think what is very important is exactly what His Excellency Dr. Al-Jaber said, that we need to have the finance and the technology to actually do what we want to achieve when it comes to renewables. I think global goals on renewables and energy efficiency are the North Star, I would say, guiding our actions and international cooperation until 2030. I think tripling renewables within 6 years is very ambitious, but it can be done if we use the finance and the technology that is at our hands. In the last years, we have seen a huge increase in renewables. However, this increase happened mainly in the so-called developed world, which I think includes China. Now we must turn to those who lack the finance and the technology, again, to achieve that. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much for sharing the remarks. Let's think of the future, Excellency. How does Germany see IRENA as a global player, especially when it comes to the clean energy agenda?
I think that IRENA has played a very important role over the last 15 years in what we try to achieve. And I think this is exactly what IRENA has to continue to do. I think for us, in addition to what I mentioned before, there are 5 areas where we see very pronounced role for IRENA in the energy transition. It has to continue to be a center of excellence for energy transformation. It has to be an international collaboration and network hub for everybody who is in need for these technology and finance goals that we have. It has to continue to be a global voice for renewables, and it has to prolong the support for region and countries in exactly what we need.
Great, and for sure we will continue our commitment to this global work. I turn to Panama, together alongside with the United Arab Emirates. Panama has established this day as the first international day for clean energy. To what extent, Your Excellency, you find it very fruitful to have such a fixed day to bring the awareness not only to the governments, not only to international organizations, but also to the people themselves?
Yes, thank you. Good evening and congratulations. Panama Vision on the important or formalizing the International Day for Clean Energy was seeking to create a moment that will allow the planet to pause and reflect and celebrate the action that we have taken and carried out the society toward energy transition to gradually eliminate fossil fuel of our energy. In the same time, to the extent the citizen of the world through the best practice reinforce the commitment to deal with the climate change challenge. More consume and can join this structure for the improvers of sustainable energy resource and energy service. Therefore, it will be another opportunity to continue complying with the global emission reduction commitments. Certainly, an International Day of Clean energy, will be new impulse of a lot of volume, which will increase awareness in age of us about the importance of having clean, renewable, and sustainable energy, which will help improve the equality of life and economic progress in a healthy environment.
Great. Let's zoom in a little bit within Panama. As we heard, Her Excellency Rosalina talked about the national strategy of Panama. To what extent you find the initiatives taken between Panama and IRENA are grateful in bringing such a change.
Yes, yes, it's so success for Panama. Panama make many activity, not only in this week, start last year, and continue for push on the change the mind the people. Panama recognize itself as a team player country, searching to build a just and inclusive transition that generates national and regional development. In 2020, the government of Panama approved the National Energy Transition Agenda, will become the 90.9% of the total emission reduction commitment in our NDC1, focus on achievement universal access to the sustainable energy.
Great, and we wish you all the best in this.
Thank you.
I would like to turn to Tonga when discussing the small island nations. So out of this collaboration for the past 15 years, Your Excellency, how do you evaluate the collaboration with IRENA?
Thank you very much, and happy birthday, Your Excellencies. Traditionally, it's not good to remember birthdays, as the years passed. But I was fortunate and privileged to be in Sharm el-Sheikh when the vote took place for the bidding and hosting of IRENA. And I never dreamt in my wildest dreams that I'd be sitting at the 15th birthday celebration of IRENA. So congratulations to everyone. Congratulations, Your Excellencies. I think to realize how important IRENA is to the small island states, you need to understand exactly what was happening in the world during 2009. There was, that incredible change or landmark presidency in the United States. And there was also an oil increase, which affected the world. I mean, one of the highest peaks, where, as far as the Pacific was concerned, we found ourselves probably in one of the most difficult economic times due to the energy crisis. Because as everyone knows, energy affects everything. We were talking to all our development partners who are all present here today, saying to them, you need to help us. How do we solve this energy problem? We're a small, tiny little island or group of islands in the middle of the ocean. And they were finding it difficult. The idea that renewables could actually provide us energy security wasn't even on the table. And it was actually when the Pacific was invited by the United Arab Emirates to come and visit Mazda in support of their bid for the host country, that we saw something that we didn't believe. A 10 megawatt solar plant station. This is back in 2009. So, after the successful bid by the UAE, all the Pacific Islanders went back to their Pacific countries and said, hey, we've got a problem. Bearing in mind, some of our peak loads in our countries are way less than 10 megawatts. All we need to do is put this simple solar farm up. And our development partner said, no, it doesn't exist. They didn't believe us. They didn't believe it existed. They didn't believe that renewables could actually provide the energy security for, these small Pacific Island countries. So, to cut a long story short, we engaged heavily with IRENA. So much so that we forced the then Director General to come to Tonga and attend what we held as the first Pacific Leaders Energy Summit. We were constantly on, in those days, the fax and the telephone to the UAE and to IRENA, asking them, help us, come. And they were helping us. But the great thing was that all of our development partners have membership in IRENA. So we would lobby the countries that were at the IRENA meeting saying, go back to your capital and tell your foreign affairs, tell your aid agencies that this is the solution. So as far as IRENA helping the Pacific and SIDS as a whole, it's been instrumental in our energy transition. Thank you.
Great, thank you so
I can
much.
keep talking, but I don't want
We
to.
should love to. We should love to hear from you for sure. So we will remain for sure committed in reflecting these concerns for sure. And finally, I move to Angola to hear a little bit from Africa and the great potential that Africa has when it comes to renewable energy transition. To what extent, Your Excellency, you read the collaboration between IRENA and the regional level when it comes to the collaboration with Africa overall?
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. And first of all, please allow me to give happy 15-year happy anniversary for IRENA. You know, Angola has one of priority in her programs is actually the transition of energy. We are the first one of the countries who participate in the foundation of IRENA. So our country, as member of IRENA, identifies the need for international cooperation, exchange and experience, technical support, and the possibility of the funding projects in specific regions. The results are very promising and encourage our country to continue working in this direction. By the example, I can share some data that takes and projects until share of IRENA. More than 62% of the energy production comes from renewable resources, hydroelectric and solar. Those two combinations have come to play an essential role in the capacity to produce clean energy. In order to reach the target of 71% clean energy by 2070, meaning 2027, set out to the electric sector development plan, Angola is counting on the Kakulu Kabasa hydroelectric plant, which will generate 2,100 megawatts on various solar energy projects, including the solar energy and power plants. We are also one project in the called Biopio, or largest in Sub-Saharan Africa, which are producing capacity for 100,001 megawatts for the energy. We have also other projects we call Bahia Farta with 97 megawatts. You have also the Kakulu Kabasa and the Lukwa, which will introduce a 500 megawatts. In addition to this, there are more than 5 solar power plant projects, which will introduce around 70 megawatts from launch of the first plant. Based in Vienna, one of the countries which has highest potential for solar power global, Angola has one of the highest hydroelectric capacity in Africa. Concerning cooperation with African countries in the context of accelerating the adoption of clean energy, in March 2023, the Central Africa Center Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency was inaugurated in Angola to support the initiative of young enterprises in the field of renewable energy, as well as helping countries to increase the rate of the electrification. The Center is a special agency of the Economic Community of Central Africa States, comprises 11 member states, Angola, Burundi, Cameroon, and Central African Republic, Congo, Gabon, Guinea Equatorial. They include the organization who called the Economic Community of Central African States. We think this is the way how we can cooperate with IRENA in order to implement the programs about the renewable energy.
Great, and we always believe in Angola's role as one of the founding members of IRENA. A quick question to everyone here. I promise it's going to be an easy one. So since we reflected on the past 15 years, how do you envision the future with IRENA? Let's say for the near future, for the coming 15 years. Ladies first, and the closest to me.
Okay, thank you again. The fact that IRENA has the capacity to gather national leaders, CEO, young professionals, among others, each on reaping their own policy insight, technical expertise, and diversity backgrounds, provide a range of perspectives unique in the organization. This collaboration enhances the problem solving, ensuring a more holistic approach to achievement the renewable, sustainable future. Panama feel that IRENA have the power in the good word, because the IRENA must keep is the essential and enveloped into the central hub for sharing best practice, facility technology transfer, and coordinate efforts to address the global energy challenge.
Excellent. Your Excellency, Schanfelder.
I think IRENA has to do exactly what it has done the last 15 years. It has to be a catalyst, bring together people, bring together ideas, and move forward the agenda of the international climate change movement. And I think this is, of course, not a movement anymore. It has become an integral part of, for example, Germany's foreign policy. I think the creation of ideas, the creation of new ways to implement the ideas that we bring forward, for example, at COP28, the tripling of renewables, how to do it, what is needed, and put forward the papers that are actually needed to not only bring people together, but to bring ideas together, to work as a catalyst, as I said in the beginning. I think this is something that should be done in the next 15 years as well. And I'm pretty sure that under the leadership of my good friend Francesco, this will be is in very good hands. It will be done very good. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you so much. Your Excellency, Honorable.
Well, definitely not have me at the 30th birthday, that's for sure. Well, first of all, I'd like to congratulate all of the staff of IRENA for having got us this far, having built what I consider, and I'm sure a lot of their excellencies here consider, a truly international organization. I agree with His Excellency that it needs to continue being a catalyst. But more importantly, I think for at least the SIDS, and specifically the Pacific Island countries, you would have heard from a lot of our ministers and prime ministers of us achieving renewable energy goals of 70%. I think some of the most ambitious are 100% before 2030. That is for the current infrastructure that we have at the moment. That doesn't take into account possibly all of the good investment that may come from the United Arab Emirates or Germany in development of tourism and infrastructure. So what we could see as meeting our demands currently by 70% may, in a very short period of time, before 2030, triple. In other words, not only do we need to triple our renewable energy, we need to triple our demand, grow the economy, build our infrastructure. That's where I think no development partner, no international organization, not even COP, is looking at us small Pacific Island SIDS countries. And I think with IRENA developing what it has and becoming a stronger catalyst. Dare I say, if by another 15 years we could consider the IEA the experts of nuclear, we could say IRENA, if not already, is truly the experts of renewables. And just before I finish, the 15 years of support by the host country has been incredible. And I have to say this in front of Her Excellency, the Minister, and of course, Her Excellency, the Permanent Representative. They really have been incredible hosts. So please, as far as the UAE is concerned, continue the other 15 years like that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Your Excellency, Hayatou.
Well, we can see the result of all these programs. We are in the direction of the change, the energy, the transition energetic. We think this idea about the APRA, the Accelerated Partnership for Renewables in Africa, will be the best way where we can really continue to follow the way as IRENA has defined the future for the renewable energy and using. We know this is program, the big problem, difficulty is financial problem. We are not around it. But in this concern is fundamental to continue to do more deep the mobilize their resources and the countries who have more capacity to support the other program and the country host the situations is more difficult. This is what I think. This is what in my government, and I think we are considered in many countries in Africa what did improve.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Definitely. So if I'm going to summarize for the DG, the takeouts, so we need maybe to do more of exchange and the creation of ideas, and then we set the behavior, and then we accelerate it, right? Thank you so much, Your Excellencies, for joining us tonight, and I'm really thankful and grateful for the remarks. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Excellency. Ladies and gentlemen, in a world facing growing challenges, there are individuals who stand as spirits of hope and catalysts for change for sure. His Excellency Mr. Antonio Guterres, the Secretary General of the United Nations, is such a global leader. So we are here to hear some of his key messages through this video message.
Clean energy is the gift that keeps giving. It can purify polluted air, meet growing energy demand, secure supplies, and connect billions of people to affordable power, helping to ensure electricity access to all by 2030. That is all while saving money and saving the planet. A fair, just, equitable, and urgent transition from dirty fossil fuels to clean energy is essential to avoid the worst of climate chaos and spur sustainable development. So I celebrate this first International Day of Clean Energy. I applaud the work of the International Renewable Energy Agency, and I welcome the call made by countries at COP28 to triple renewable energy capacity by 2030. It is my firm belief that fossil fuel phase-out is not only necessary, it is inevitable. But we need governments to act to accelerate transition with the biggest emitters leading the way. That means unleashing a surge in climate finance, particularly governments reforming the business model of multilateral development banks so that affordable finance flows. It means countries creating new national climate plans by 2025 that map a fair and just transition to clean power. And it means governments closing the door on the fossil fuel era with justice and equity. Our clean energy future is unstoppable. Together, Let's bring it into being faster, and I thank you.
Many thanks to His Excellency Gutierrez for the inspiring words. And ladies and gentlemen, we have to excuse Her Excellency Dr. Amna bin Abdullah Dhahak, Minister of Climate Change and Environment of the United Arab Emirates. We appreciate your presence and we understand that you have to leave. So thank you so much. Moving to our closing remarks, I would like to invite another leader in the renewable energy sector as the permanent representative of the United Arab Emirates to IRENA and the acting assistant undersecretary to green development and the climate change at the Ministry of Climate Change and Environment, Dr. Nawal Hosseini.
So I'm very well aware that I'm between you and your dinner, so I'm going to make this extremely brief. It's just to say, first, congratulations. Congratulations to IRENA. Congratulations to IRENA staff, current and past. Congratulations to us, membership. Congratulations to everybody who contributed in this amazing milestone. We've done very, very well, but you heard from, I think, all the speakers. We did so well, but we still have a lot to do. Ambassador Akaula has spoke about where he was the day IRENA was launched. And I have to say also my story. I was actually at IRENA's old offices, which were caravans. So we're in the caravans with Dr. Sultan, sitting there, listening and waiting to know what's going to be the verdict, where IRENA will be hosted. So, you know, it was such an emotional moment for all of us here in the UAE when all those action was mobilized. I also was here the day we inaugurated this building, sitting maybe on one of those tables, evaluating videos and giving feedback and getting so frustrated with suppliers because we wanted this event to be perfect. And we want everything around IRENA to be perfect. And we're so humbled by the support we are getting for all the membership. So ladies and gentlemen, we celebrate this together and we have to keep moving together because it's just a phenomenal achievement and a great milestone. And building on what Dr. Sultan and Her Excellency Amna mentioned about the call of action, and we need your voice and we need your action. We need you to be part of also the future Renewables Talk. We have 3 more to go this year, so you guys can apply for the Secretariat if anybody would like to co-host with us, and let's make this one of the really amazing platforms that IRENA does to share knowledge, experience, and also to network with the membership. Francisco, IRENA team, my team, all of us, congratulations and well done. What a great achievement. Thank you very much for being with us in this journey. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency, Dr. Nawal Hosseini, for sharing these lovely little stories, and definitely we value your expertise. With no further delays, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, as this wonderful evening draws to a close, we reach the moment of shared joy and celebration, the gala dinner. Tonight's dinner is a feast for the spirit as we come together to celebrate the 15th anniversary of IRENA's establishment and the first International Day of Clean Energy. So, on behalf of IRENA, I wish you a joyful night, rich in connections for sure, as we close this chapter. So, let's eagerly anticipate the next 15 years of shared success. Thank you so much, and please do enjoy your dinner. Thank you.